Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Shabbat Perek Bet Mishna Dalet. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to see three cases of instances of a candle that you machloket whether you are or not allowed to use it. Now, what are these three instances going to be? We're going to speak about it'll be an eggshell. If you look at this bottom left picture, first of all, you see the actual candle. This is what they would use as a candle. Right? They would pour the oil into the middle, and the wick would stick out from the side. Right, and if you actually see this other candle on the left, this is a time from the Hashmona'i period, and it's interesting. Like this, these are really the time of the Mishnah, right? Just around that time in the Mishnah times, these were the candles that were used and were found in Israel during that time. So, what are going to be these three cases? If a person sets an eggshell into the actual candle itself, the hole of the candle, and he's going to let oil drip from the eggshell into the into the body of the candle, and therefore it adds more oil, so the candle, the light stays, the fire stays on longer. That'll be one case. The second case is going to be similar to this eggshell, just instead of being an eggshell, you can use cheres. It'll be actually built out of pottery, and you're actually going to set it also into the also right into the same spot. And the last case, the third case, will be when you have a candle, right, the bottom right picture, and you take the wick and you have it come out of one candle and into another bowl on the side. So here, the oil, once it finishes drawing from the candle itself, the wick will extend into the bowl on the side and also draw that oil as well, also extending the flame. Those will be the three cases. So firstly, and a person shall not go ahead and puncture the shell of an egg, fill it with oil, and put it on top of the candle, so the oil could drip from the eggshell, right, and extend the flame longer. And even if this egg, right, instead of an eggshell, it was actually made from pottery, even that would not be allowed. But Rabbi Yehuda allows it. Now, right, if the craftsman went ahead and when he was making the candle, right, he made part of the candle this egg-like shaped pottery piece that was attached to it, right, and it was made like that from the beginning, from inception. That's how the candle was made, was formed. Then it's mutar. That would be allowed because that's already one candle. Okay, those are the first two cases: the eggshell, and when you have the even a pottery-shaped eggshell that you went ahead and put on top of the candle. Both those would be asur. Rabbi Yehuda allows it. Now, why would Rabbi Yehuda allow it? The Gemara actually explains, and Rambam brings down. Well, firstly, what's the issue over here? The issue is mechabeh, right? We worry that you may go ahead and remove the shell, and if you remove the shell, then you're taking oil away from the candle, and you're causing the flame to go out earlier. So that's the problem. Why did Yehuda allow it? Because he actually was around his rabbis once, and he had this case. He did so, right? He left this this eggshell, and they didn't say anything. Rabbis around him didn't say anything. So he said, "Oh, they didn't tell me anything, so it must be okay." Now the question is, why didn't the rabbis say anything? The rabbis over there didn't say anything because they were around him at the time, and they knew that when they're around him, he's not going to go ahead and draw from the oil, right? So they didn't say anything at that very moment. Okay, the Mishnah continues. A person shouldn't go ahead and fill up a bowl of oil and put it on the side of the candle, and take the tip of the wick and put it again from the candle into the bowl next to it, so the wick could draw from that oil in the bowl as well. And Rabbi Yehuda allows it. So those are the three cases. Question is, why do we need all three cases? Wouldn't one be enough? So the answer is no, right? One wouldn't be enough. We need to hear all three cases, right? Because if it only told us a case of the actual egg itself, we can say, okay, because the eggshell is clean, right? If you clean an eggshell, it's very clean. And I could assume that a person may come and take from that oil to use, right? But if we're talking about, right? A pottery is it's very cheap. It's dirty. So even Hachamim may agree that that would be allowed. We're not going to worry that someone's going to go ahead and take from the oil if you made a pottery egg. No, we learn from here. Even there, Hachamim are oser, right? They also don't allow it, even if it's from pottery. And let's say it only towards the case of the pottery, right? Then we could have thought that, oh, that's when Rabbi Yehuda allows it. because it's dirty oil. But when it comes to an actual eggshell where it's clean oil, maybe also the Rabbi Yehuda would say, "Oh, I may worry that you could take, someone may take from it." No, so also over here we see that Rabbi Yehuda allows in that case. And let's say he taught us both those cases, right? The eggshell and the pottery egg. We could have thought that Rabbi Yehuda allows it because it's still somewhat attached. But the case of the bowl that's detached, right, and on the side of the candle, right, there's airspace in between, right? Even there, we could have thought that maybe the Rabbi Yehuda would be osir. No, also in that case, the Rabbi Yehuda allows, and that's why we need all three cases. Halacha is like Chachamim.